is not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrone Lowe. The show is called The Legends, and I want to thank everybody all over the world that actually subscribes to my show and show me love. Like I always say, without you guys, it wouldn't be no legends. In the House of the Legends, I have Dr. Chatterjee. Now, he wrote a book called When All the Gods Died, and we're going to do a collaboration on what it actually symbolizes. Welcome to my show, Dr. Chatterjee.
Thank you, Tyrone.
How are you?
It's a pleasure.
All right. So let's talk about you personally, where you're based from and things like that.
I'm in Boston.
Okay.
I've been practicing cardiology in Boston for many years.
Okay.
Yeah, and I also have a place in California, so I'm like
In between?
Yeah, in between. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so how was your trip here?
It was good. It was a Saturday. We loved the school. The.
'Cause I noticed when I was outside, you were taking pictures.
Yeah,
And I was like, is that him?
Yeah.
So is this your first book, or is this something that you actually put together, things like that?
Well, this book actually it took me 10 years.
Oh, 10
to
years?
research, yeah, because I had to do a lot of research on Greek mythology
Right.
before I started writing.
Okay.
So, and then finally, initially I thought that I'll write a textbook on Greek mythology, but then, people said textbooks will be read by only very few people. So I
Right.
decided that I'll make it a story form, simpler.
Okay.
And that's how this book came out.
So we're talking about Greek mythology. When did that actually started? I know it had to be centuries and things
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Actually, before the Christianity was the official religion in Greece for thousands and thousands of years. You go back 10,000 years before Christ.
Okay.
12,000 years before that there were temples. The official religion was the Greek mythology, Greek religion, which consisted of initially the religion was different, and then it changed finally. When it changed finally, and from maternal to paternal, that became the Olympian gods, Zeus, and that spread to all over the Greek colony. In fact, in Italy, all those places down in Africa, Arab countries, wherever the Greek people made their colony, the religion was there. So you find temples even in Turkey, in a lot of places.
Do a lot of these places still actually exist?
They exist. They have the temples. Yeah.
And do people still follow them in a sense?
No, people have been converted to Christianity. Many places, Muslim religion to
Right,
like
okay.
Turkey, but the temples are still there, and there are some followers. They're alternate. They follow them.
Okay. And what was the purpose of Christianity when they actually made the transition? Who actually did that to the point where everybody said, well, listen, I'm going to make a conversion?
Actually, Christianity was evolving, and when the Christianity spread to Greece, even at that time, the people did follow the Greek religion, and big kings, they followed Zeus, Poseidon, the initial gods, the
Right.
Olympians like Zeus, Poseidon, and Athena, for example, was the protector of cities.
Okay.
And they followed them. So it was really well practiced religion, and for many years. And subsequently, obviously, Christianity came, but my purpose was to bring up their heritage, the Greek heritage, which consists of this religion.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my purpose. My first book is mostly has Olympians in this book.
Right, okay.
Mostly Olympians. So the story starts from a American couple, Andrew and Rhea.
Right.
They travel. They're in love. They travel for vacation to Greece.
Okay.
And that's how the story starts.
So let's talk about Andrew, because Andrew plays a very important part of this book.
Yes.
And so let's talk about him and what he actually went through.
Yeah.
Because he went through some hardship.
So Andrew is a professor of archaeology, and he has interest in Greek mythology also, and he is also a pilot by his passion. And he's in love with Rhea. They go to Athens, and from there they have to go to the islands. He rents a plane. Instead of going commercial plane and boats, they go by their own plane, and the plane crashes.
Okay.
And the plane crashes in a, they're supposed to go to south towards Crete, but they veer towards north. And Mount Olympus is towards north. And they thought they are near Mount Olympus when the plane crashes. And they reach a remote island. And that's how the story begins.
Right.
And the first god, and Andrew finds, when he wakes up after the crash, he doesn't find Rhea anymore. She's gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's gone. And so the story actually is Andrew is searching for Rhea in this book.
Right.
And in that process, in that journey, he meets different gods and goddesses. He meets, Athena, he meets Apollo, he meets, they meet Artemis, and not giving you the story.
Right.
And Rhea also, what happens to Rhea, whether he finds her or not, and that's the journey in this book. The book was, so there are two parts. One part are the mortals, the Andrew and Rhea.
Right.
And of course, the people they meet there, Protagoras is the man Andrew works for in that small island. So they're the mortals, and then the immortals. And how they talk.
Right.
Without making it look like, oh, these people are from thousands of years ago, and these are the latest people. These are the, they do talk, they do have conversations, and it has to be seamless. It has to be believable.
Right.
And that
convincing.
It was very hard for me to do that, but I was able to bring some reality to that because a lot of people who have read me give me an impression that they did not think it was improbable, it was impossible. So they interact.
Right.
And the book actually establishes a lot of archetypes also.
Right.
Hera, for example. Hera is the queen.
Right.
And she is married to Zeus. Hera actually establishes the sanctity of marriage. She was the first woman who established the sanctity of marriage. She never slept with anybody else other than Zeus.
Right.
Even though Zeus had affairs, multiple affairs.
Right.
But she never had any affair after she got married.
Okay.
So they say archetypal Hera type. A jealous wife.
Right.
So in this book, people will find who they are like.
Okay.
Artemis is a huntress, independent. So a lot of women will find, similarity to her.
So there's different calibers as far as a person's personality to who they actually adopt to.
Yeah, I would say the uniqueness of the book is that in my book, the gods think about themselves.
Right.
They think in modern psychological terms. They think about themselves, and they speak to and mortals also speak the same language.
Right.
So if you look at the book, this is one book where you find the gods and human beings are psychologically thinking similar way.
Right, right.
In a modern way. So you can relate to that.
So when you talked about Andrew and Rhea, the first thing came to my mind was Adam and Eve.
I have not actually. My main aim is to focus on Greek mythology.
Okay.
And I focused on that.
Right.
Because Rhea is also one of the titanesses.
Okay.
So before the Olympians, the gods who were ruling Greece were called titans.
Okay.
And titanesses. So the mother titan, Rhea, was Rhea, and her children are these six. Zeus, Poseidon, they are Rhea's children.
Okay.
So that's why the Rhea name came.
Did Andrew ever moved on as far as searching for her?
He was looking for Rhea. Yeah, he made a lot of efforts, and there were a lot of conflicts. He made, I mean, beautiful things. He participated in a race, chariot race.
Right.
He was all over there looking for he was getting exposed. He was in a drinking ceremony where he could drink as much as. And
Really?
Yeah, there are a lot of beautiful. They're all Greek rituals and Greek festivals that he became part of. You know, he was a charioteer, and those are original festivals of Greece that I brought up. You know,
Right.
that people would enjoy having to, you know, having our character from here
Right.
into those.
Because when you said a plane, I'm like, well, this had to be more modernized, because I know that at them times they were actually riding in like chariots and things like that.
Yeah. So from here they have to go to Greece by a plane.
Right.
But after that, once they reach there, that island had not advanced. It had chariots, it had horses. They have no contact with anybody else. So that island is a world in itself, and that will
Right.
take you to that world of the Olympians, where they had the chariots, where they had the horses, where they had the rams, and
Right.
where they had the sheep, where they had the, you know, sacrifice of sheep, you know,
Right.
and that's what you will see when you go to that island.
Okay. Were they good gods and good goddesses, or were they bad gods and bad goddesses at that point?
So gods and goddesses
Right.
in few modern religion were fixed.
Right.
That this is the type of God, because human beings made those gods.
Right.
Nobody has seen those gods.
Right.
They gave all the good character and made a god. But previously, the gods and goddesses evolved from normal human beings. So their gods and goddesses were not good or bad. They did things.
Right.
So, for example, the Greek people, you know, they knew Zeus would have many affairs. And they didn't say it's good or bad.
Right.
You know, they knew Hera would be jealous of group, you know, and it wasn't good or bad. It was just a jealous wife.
Right,
so
right.
they took the gods and goddesses just like they will take their friend, another human being.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah.
Did a lot of people follow their characteristics as far as who they were to adjust to their own
Yeah.
self-satisfaction?
Yeah, even the psychologists, you know, the psychiatrists, they have written about the archetypes, you know,
Right.
based on these characters. You know, they will say Athena archetype, you know,
Right.
Hera archetype. So based on their psychology, a lot of people have been put in a box and said, okay, this is the personality type.
Right.
And the book does not directly point to that, but book brings them out. You know,
Okay.
Athena interacts with Andrew, and Andrew can see she's a warrior, she's a strategist.
Right.
Athena does not go and fight with brute force.
Right.
She uses mind.
Okay. She
You
had
know.
she had mind power.
Because she was the one who actually was born from Zeus' head. You know,
Okay.
the story goes like this: Athena's mom was when Zeus quoted her. They said that her son will be taking over Zeus.
Okay.
So what he did, her name was Metis. He swallowed Metis. Metis had a character. She could change forms, the shifting forms. So she will shift different forms. And Zeus said one day, when he knew that her son would take over my power, he said to her, "Can you change into a little drop of water?" And she did, and he swallowed her.
Oh, wow.
This is the story.
Okay.
But psychologically, what it is, and I describe that in my second book, actually.
Right.
My second book is coming up, and I describe much more these things in second book.
Okay.
It's when one person takes over psychologically the other person,
Right.
you know?
Okay. It sounds quite magical, but what we're going to do, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back
Very good.
with
Thank you.
Dr. Chatterjee.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.
We got some fun people in the house tonight. And we're back. I'm with Dr. Chatterjee. He wrote a book called Where All the Gods Died. And we're talking about Greek mythology, going way back and current. So let's talk about myths and fantasies. Now, that book talks a lot about myths and fantasies as far as people that actually had their mindsets on things that wasn't actually real, but they wanted to actually project it as a fantasy. Or they lived it, or they put it like this. It was a fantasy, but they wanted to make it realistic. So the book talks about that as well. So let's talk about that.
So in this book, we talk about the gods and goddesses. They are part of the mythology, part of what happened actually in Greece. They prayed to those gods and goddesses. They believed in them.
Right.
The fantasy is when our characters, Andrew and Ria, goes and meets them. That's the fantasy.
Right.
So it has spirituality, it has religion, it has fantasy, and it is also literary because it dwells into the minds of the gods and
Right.
goddesses. So that's why it becomes literary fantasy.
Okay.
That's how I will put
Explain
my
that?
book in
Okay.
genre. Yeah.
How do they actually get people to actually convince them to actually believe in them, even though it was on a mindset sort of situation?
How do you believe in Jesus Christ?
It was presented to me.
That's right. So you haven't seen Jesus Christ?
No,
Your father hasn't seen?
no,
Your grandfather hasn't seen?
no.
The stories that we hear from our ancestors,
Right,
whoever our ancestors follow, we tend to follow them. Similarly, so Zeus, those stories were there for a long time, and the Greek authors who wrote about them, in Iliad,
right,
in Odyssey, those big books, they
Right.
describe these gods and goddesses,
Right.
and people continue. And those times there were no writing.
okay,
So for Hinduism, they were writing. Hinduism also existed those times.
right,
It was one of the oldest religion, but they had books. But Greek religion did not have any book.
right,
But later on, when the books started coming around 800 before Christ,
okay,
the Odyssey and the Iliad, they described the books, and Metamorphosis. Those books described the gods and goddesses.
okay,
But the bards used to sing these things before.
right, okay.
They used to describe the god. So they will say,
Was
if
that a
you,
source of communication in a sense?
yeah.
Okay,
So if you, for example, the story you must have heard the Trojan War story.
Yes.
Right. In the Trojan War, when in the beginning, the ship is taken. Right. The ship Menelaus,
Right.
and Agamemnon, they lead the army.
Mm-hmm.
And the initial part is there was no wind to sail the boats, so they had to sacrifice.
right, okay,
So Agamemnon sacrificed his own daughter. He brings his own daughter to sacrifice to please the god.
okay,
So those days they will please the god. They will give gifts. They will call them with honey, with wine, with
Right.
yeah.
I've seen some of that on TV.
Yeah. And similar things, the religions later on also follow the same thing.
Right.
You go to the church and they give you water or something to drink,
Right,
and it becomes holy water. So holiness is in our mind. Somebody puts something in your mind that this is holy, this is going to be holy, right?
Okay.
So this is how they had this religion for many, many years, and they created the temples. Temples were massive.
Right, right.
Massive temples, beautiful temples. When people will pray, and when they get their results, they will go back and they
Right.
will offer what they call votives.
Okay.
They will offer gifts to the god and goddesses.
In those days, would you say, as far as like today, were those days a little bit more unified in a sense, as far as people actually living together and actually, I would say less conflict?
Actually, just I will say depended on where you live.
Okay.
But there were more conflict actually, small kingdoms.
Okay.
So they had more wars going on all the time in Greece. The small islands
Right.
were the one country. So for Peloponnesians, Athenians, they all always fought together.
Was it based on territory?
Based on territory, yeah,
Okay.
territory. So there were small forts. So I think those days there were more conflict than now. Now they're
Okay.
big nations,
Right.
Yeah, so less conflict.
Their way of living is very, very interesting from what I'm hearing. But I'm going to ask you a question. What made you so interested in Greek mythology? What
So-
gave you a sudden interest in it?
Yeah, so I get interested into things that I don't know.
Oh,
and,
okay.
and I come from East. I come from India.
Okay.
So our religion, Hindu religion, also existed for thousands of years.
Right.
But when I went to Greece and I saw the temples, and there were nobody praying, and I was surprised
Okay.
that our temples have been there for thousands of years. Muslim people invaded us, and it destroyed us, but we
Right.
still pray to the same gods. Christian people came, invaded us, destroyed us. We still pray to our same gods.
And
And
why was that, though?
That's why I was surprised that how come Greek people couldn't keep their own heritage and they got totally wiped out by one religion.
Wow.
And that intrigued me, and I started doing the research. And it took
Okay.
many, many years to learn. And then finally, now I'm comfortable with, different gods and goddesses. I can even talk to them and see what they say, in my own fantasy.
Okay.
And so in my this book, you have mostly Olympians. You will have beautiful accounts of Hera talking, what she's thinking, Athena, Aphrodite, Hephaestus, Ares, and of course Zeus. The people I pay more attention were Hephaestus, and because he was a lame god.
Okay.
He was a lame god. He was thrown by his own mother because he was ugly
Really?
from the window
Okay.
down into the ocean. So
And he survived.
And he survived because
Okay.
in the ocean, two goddesses, they got him and they brought him up. But he is a blacksmith. He creates beautiful things,
Right.
beautiful ornaments for all the gods and goddesses. What does he think? How does Hephaestus think about the world? And that translates to how does an ugly man
Right.
or a man who is not good looking think? How does he sublime and transform his feelings into good job? He creates, how does he do that? And somebody who is, not everybody is welcome in the world. Unfortunately,
Right.
many people are very welcome by society and many people are not. Those people who are not very welcome and they cannot mix in the society, Hephaestus is one of them. And they will find, and then similarly, Apollo is very handsome and everybody likes him. But
Right.
he's none
So
of his,
was that his competition?
well, they're all in the same family.
Right.
So Apollo, in the same family, there's always a rivalry, sibling rivalry.
Right.
But the stories of Apollo where he falls in love with so many beautiful, but he is never really successful. Apollo did not really marry anybody.
Okay.
And Hephaestus, the ugliest god, marries the most beautiful goddess, Aphrodite.
And that's kind of strange.
That is what the history tells us.
I think due to the fact of him being ugly, he had more purity in his characteristics, being a little bit more humble.
He actually
Yeah,
had.
after he knew how to supplement it.
Yeah,
in a sense.
he knew how to change his frustrations
Right.
into some
Being humble.
creativity.
Yes.
Apollo also knew that. Apollo had more, actually even more creativity because Apollo was the god who could think well, who produced music, and also could treat people, cure people, medicine. So he was the
Really?
god of medicine, yeah.
Okay.
Apollo. But unfortunately, the people Apollo loved, he could never get them.
Right.
There is a beautiful story about, the laurel tree. You know about the laurel tree?
No, I don't.
Story? Okay.
Okay.
So he loved a princess. Her name was Daphne.
Okay.
And Daphne actually had another friend. And this man took, because Daphne was free and she just wanted to stay a virgin. So this man, Philip, falls in love. His name was Leucippus. He falls in love with Daphne, and he wears women's clothes and hangs out with her.
Right. Oh, really?
And Apollo likes Daphne, so Apollo gets mad
Right.
that Daphne is closer to him, and he is not telling the truth. So he creates a scene where he says to Daphne, go to this pond, and you all go bathe, and take him with you, Leucippus.
Right.
When Leucippus stands, everybody takes their clothes off, and they go to the pond. Leucippus does not do that. So her maids come and take Leucippus's clothes off, and they see Leucippus is a man. So she gets mad.
Okay.
The punishment, Leucippus dies.
Right.
How, I'll tell you. Anyway, Apollo now has Daphne, and he chases Daphne. But at that time, the god of love, he wanted to give Apollo a lesson. So he shoots 2 arrows.
Okay.
One arrow of love in Apollo's heart, and one arrow of lead to Daphne's heart, so she will never love him. He chases Daphne, and Daphne runs and runs and runs, does not let him touch him. Then at the last, Daphne says, when he's too close, she prays to God that, hey, I don't want to be Apollo's lover, and I want to die. So God changed Daphne to a laurel tree. So as soon as Apollo touches Daphne, she changes into a laurel tree. Bark and tree and leaves.
Okay.
This is what is this? This is the boundary protection by a woman. So even if you get a woman, she can be a tree. Psychologically.
Psychologically, of course.
Defeat you.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. This is how we learned this.
Okay.
So this is a boundary setting by this woman that you can love me, but I will never love you.
Oh, wow.
So those are the beautiful things to learn from this book. Is you have to think. So every page you read, there is a lesson, there is a story.
So tell the viewers, where can they actually get your book?
So this book is available in 50 sites, but Amazon.com,
Okay.
BarnesandNoble.com, Apple Books, all the major book sites have the book. So
Okay.
and they can and Amazon is very quick, 1 or 2 days, and I think the Barnes and Noble is also very quick.
So quickly, give them your email address, how they can actually contact you quickly.
Author Sudarshan @gmail.com.
Okay. It's been a pleasure having you on my show. I thank you so much for coming through, and come again.
Can I give you the book?
Of course. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me.
You guys want to get into Greek mythology? Here go your book to the introduction of it. And this has been another T-Lo video production. You guys stay tuned for another episode. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not just mine, his or her house. This is our house.